Hey everybody!
Hey, how's it going? Outside Dan and Jen here to give you our boondocking update for week 3 or part 3. It's actually, well, this is like the beginning of week 4? Whatever, I don't know. It is Monday, and it is day 17. We are halfway, more than halfway done.
More than halfway.
Everything's going swimmingly. We've already updated you our battery situation. We'll talk about that a little more. We will say when we got here, it was super windy for 3 days, and we were trapped inside most of the time.
Yep.
Not very much fun, but now it's very, very warm.
It's actually absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, 86 yesterday, 86 today, 88 tomorrow is what it's supposed to be. It makes it so it's a little warm in the coach at night, but I mean, we're not complaining because we'd rather have that than the cold and the wind, and especially with our battery situation.
That's the problem, is our battery situation. We can't run our fans at night because we're afraid that it'll drain them too much, so we don't have that air moving. If we could run our fan, it would be fine. But
yeah, so whatever, it is what it is. It's supposed to start cooling off after tomorrow, so this is just temporary, you know, to something like mid-70s, which is like perfect. So battery situation, they're holding. They are not getting noticeably worse. We have gotten to the habit of, we run the generator first thing in the morning, get the batteries up to 100% or near 100%.
Yeah.
The solar takes over. We'll finish charging them, get them right up, top them off completely, put them in float stage, and then runs our refrigerator, runs our laptops, lights, anything else we use during the day. And usually for like 4 or 5 o'clock, when we start losing solar, we're at 100%. Mm-hmm. So we've been eating dinner, watching TV without running the generator again. We run it before we go to bed. So between about 7:30 to 9:30, somewhere in there, we'll run it until it's back up to 100%, and it will make it overnight. Mm-hmm. The inverter has beeped at us a couple of times, but we think it's just when the refrigerator kicks on, there's a sudden voltage sag that then rebounds, and it trips the alarm. It's not the, hey, I don't have enough power alarm. It's the, hey, you're below a certain threshold alarm. So it's been working, and as long as it continues to work, we should be fine. The good news.
The even awesome news, yes.
What is it? We
got our batteries from Battleborn.
We did get our batteries. They arrived the other day. They are where they will live. Mm-hmm. But they're not hooked up. We are deciding if we want to do that out here. We don't have all the parts yet. No. They should be here today, and we may need to get some battery cables made. We think we can do that around here, but we're not sure. In any case, we're trying to decide if we want to do it here. At the very least, I will get stuff ready. I will do what I can do to prep everything.
Yeah.
We're thinking of waiting until after the boondocking challenge is over. We're in an RV park. We have power, so we have backup. That's the problem. I don't want to get halfway through this and then go, oops, can't do it, don't have the parts, batteries are all, and then have to undo everything. That would be sucky.
Yeah.
Because we have no backup out here. We don't have, I mean, we'd have to run the generator like all day.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that. Yeah. So we'll probably wait to get them installed completely until then. But they're sitting in their little happy home waiting.
Yeah, and as long as our batteries keep holding and doing what they're doing now, we can do that. We have that option. If for some reason they die or they get significantly worse, we'll have to do the install here.
Kind of wait and see right now. Mm-hmm. But other than that, everything's going fine. This we're kind of in stasis mode.
I was just going to say, the desert is blooming, and it's absolutely fantastic. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen the pictures.
Well, you've seen them on here because I put them in the little musical montage.
Oh, that's true. It's just beautiful. It's really just...
Tons of flowers. It's not like it is over in Anza Borrego or up in Central California with the mountains covered with poppies.
No.
But there's still a ton of flowers out here, and it's really pretty.
Yeah.
So other than that, like I said, we're kind of in stasis right now. We're probably gonna leave here in 4 or 5 days and head to our last spot, which will be there, I think, 8 days. And then we're gonna spend one night like in a parking lot or wherever we can near our destination so we can get there so we don't have a big long drive.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're doing just fine.
Yeah.
So anything else?
Nope.
Nope, that's it. That's your update. So with that, we'll send you to Inside Dan and Jen and let them talk about wastewater and water conservation and all that fun stuff and probably make fun of us. Hey, thanks Outside Dan and Jen for that incredibly exciting update. Anyway, today, as they already told you, we are going to talk about water and waste and conservation of those resources. And by resources, we have fresh water in our freshwater tank. And you may not think of them as resources, but we have 2 empty holding tanks. Gray water and black water. The emptiness is the resource, because as they get fuller, that resource goes away, and when they get full, you have to leave.
Exactly.
And go do something about that. So, conserving that emptiness, not filling them as fast as you might if you were camping with full hookups and stuff, can keep you out here longer and make your visit more enjoyable. So, first, what do we have? We have a 75-gallon freshwater tank and a 6-gallon water heater for a total of 81 gallons of fresh water. Don't forget, your water heater holds water. We also carry around up to, I think it's 9 now because we accidentally didn't we either bought an extra one or didn't throw one of the old ones away because it was in the refrigerator or something. We usually carry 8 gallons of drinking water in gallon jugs. Now I think we have 9 of them. But so we're also carrying an extra 8 gallons of drinking water, and that's just reserved for drinking and making ice.
Because we do not drink the water out of our tank. Even though we disinfected it, we don't feel comfortable drinking that water. So we do go and buy water bottles and then we refill them. That is something we do as another resource to give us that much more water.
I mean, I'm sure that drinking water that comes out of the tap in pretty much anywhere meets safe water standards. A lot of it for me is the taste.
Yeah.
I'm very sensitive to the taste of water, so when it tastes yucky, I don't like it.
Yeah.
This, we get filtered at those glacier filter kiosk things.
Reverse osmosis, the whole thing.
Or here, down in Arizona, there's a lot of independent, like, filtered water stands. So it's easy to find. We found them everywhere. So in any case, we also have 60 gallons of gray tank storage and 40 gallons of black tank storage. So we actually have more storage for those than we have fresh water, which is good. And that's how most RVs are built. So how do we conserve water and therefore not only conserve our fresh water supply, but also conserve the emptiness in our tanks? So,
number one...
That was the cue. Start tucking.
Number one thing, when you turn on the shower and you're waiting for the hot water, we do have a pitcher that captures that water until it gets warm. That water is used to flush the black tank, or flush the toilet. When I'm doing dishes, I also do the same thing. I have plastic tubs in the sink that collect that water, and that water also goes into the pitcher, and so we use it. Basically, we're reusing that water. It's only been used as gray water, and we put it back into our black tank to save the water from using the flush.
Yeah, so instead of using fresh water that that hasn't been used at all, we're, like Jen said, we're reusing other water.
Yeah.
That shower water, when it's cold, would just go down into the gray tank and take up space, and it didn't get used for anything.
Yeah.
Same with the dishwasher. Dishwasher? I wish.
Dishwater.
Here's my dishwasher. In any case.
Wow.
In any case, reusing that water, it would just go back into the gray tank. This way, it not only doesn't go into the gray tank, it goes into the black tank because our black tank tends to last longer. We are not using fresh water to flush the toilet. So we're conserving our fresh water. And even though we're putting water into the tanks, we're putting gray water into the black tank. I say conserve the empty space, and we are, by conserving water, because that's what goes into both tanks. Water, well, the black tank, other stuff goes in there. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Nevertheless, we are putting like more water down the black tank. And why? Because the black tank, if all you do is do your business in there, and you use very little water to flush, we've never done it, but we've guesstimated that thing will probably last about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
The gray tank, however, if you're dumping all the dishwater and that extra shower water down it, then you are filling it and, 10, 12 days.
Yeah.
Taking showers every third day, stuff like that. If you put some of that in the black tank, it's equalizing. You're using some of that capacity, some of your emptiness, your resource in the black tank to conserve your resource in the gray tank. When we were in Quartzsite, our last stop, and we talked about it, we left after 12 days, the black tank was virtually full.
Yeah.
We put too much water in the black tank. So that's just kind of a feel thing, and you probably we'll get used to it. We weren't sad to leave after 12 days. 12 days is quite a while, honestly.
Yeah, it was actually time for us to move on. We were ready to move on anyway, so... Yeah. And to combat that this time, though, when I do the dishes, I put one of the tubs of water down the gray tank, if there's any water in it, and then I put the other one in the pitcher just to kind of, like, balance it out. I'm still trying to figure that out, because I didn't discover this little trick until, like, towards the end of our boondocking season last year. And so I'm still trying to finesse it and figure out what is the right method to do.
Yeah, and again, it's sort of by feel. Mm-hmm. It's not like you can get an accurate measure of where you're at and you're just kind of guessing. But we definitely put too much in the black tank last time.
Yep.
So this time we're putting a little more in the gray tank. Yep. And you always have the option on BLM land where it's permissible, it's not permissible everywhere, to slowly and in small quantities dump your gray water out on the ground.
But you definitely need to make sure that you're in a location that allows that. Yeah,
and dishwater is usually fine because if you use Dawn's biodegradable. Mm-hmm. Fresh water, if you've used it to boil some pasta or something like that, keep it out of your tanks. It's wasted water. The water's gone. You can't use it for anything. You're not going to wash dishes with it or wash your face in pasta water. Throw it outside. It's not going to harm anything. Any organic material will break down relatively quickly. It's totally fine. You're not really hurting anything. But it's another method you could use. Yeah. We've done that a couple times. Mm-hmm. We boiled some eggs. Well, that's we're probably not going to use that water again. It goes outside. Showering, we take whatever, military, Navy, whatever the term you want to use.
Turn the water on. You turn it off, you soap up, you do everything, you turn it back on, you rinse off, you're done.
Yeah. As much as on my shower days, I want to stand under the hot water for 5 minutes, we don't.
No.
We use about 2 gallons per minute. That's what our shower head's rated for. So you can imagine a 5-minute shower is 10 gallons of water.
Yeah.
Not only have you taken up 1/6 of your gray tank, you have taken up about 1/8 of your fresh water supply. Yeah. You can't do that. 2 people.
No.
You're looking at, 3 days.
Yeah.
We can't do that. So, as Jen said, we take the Navy shower, the military shower, real quick. And instead of using 10 gallons of water, we're probably using 3 to 4 to 5 gallons of water. And then to stretch tanks even more, we don't shower every day. No. I know, and I just heard all that. Ew! Outside Dan and Jen, they never shower. They're not allowed in here.
But we do. No. Do we actually take showers? No, we do not. But we definitely do sponge baths and baby wipes and things like that every day. The days we don't take showers. So, we never don't clean ourselves because that's totally gross, and I don't think either one of us could deal with that. We definitely do take some form of bath, just not necessarily a real shower. And to be perfectly honest with you, I mean, when we are in our sticks and bricks or when we're on full hookups, we definitely take showers every day. This was something that was kind of hard for me to adjust to, but I would much rather be able to stay out longer in a place that I love and make that sacrifice, and a little sacrifice, it's not a big one, of not taking a shower every day so that I can stay out here longer. And that really is what it's about. It's conserving all these resources is really so that you can stay out as long as possible while you're boondocking.
Yeah, and I mean it's not that big a deal. The wet wipes, you get all the naughty bits, and your face and head and arms and stuff, the stuff that's exposed.
Yeah.
And that's good enough. The second day, a lot of times, because we don't shower the same day. I shower every third day because that's when I cut my fabulous head of hair. And it's easier to do after a shower because my head's all clean and there's no oils and stuff. It just works better. Jen takes it the day before that. Yeah. So like today, there was already hot water in the bathroom. I put about yay much in the bottom of the sink, used a washcloth, and really like scrubbed my head off because it is warm out here. So
yeah.
And those are nice too. And when it's warm water and stuff, just even
it's
not as nice as a shower,
face, but just washing your face makes you feel like you're clean.
Yeah, and I'll do that throughout the day too. Is grab a wet wipe and just wipe my face off, especially if we've been outside and you're hot
or hiking or something. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not the end of the world. It is a trade-off, but it's a trade-off to keep you out here longer. We have a beautiful spot. The guy who was a couple hundred yards away is now gone. We are completely and utterly alone. We cannot see another rig. I don't want to leave here until we have to leave here. Showering, by the way, uses the most water by far.
By far.
So minimizing your shower, minimizing the water use, so on and so forth. I will also say, I'll throw a shout out. The Heberts, John Hebert, did a great video on cleaning, your body.
Yeah.
And washing hands and stuff like that. It is extreme what he does, and to me it looks like work. But if you are hardcore and you want to stay out here longer, maybe take an extra shower or two or whatever, it is a great video.
It is.
So I'll link to that. Probably popped up right here. Probably won't pop up. It's already there down in the description. One trick we use with the gray tank, because our sensors are wacky, is looking at the freshwater tank. Now it only says full, 2/3, 1/3 empty. That doesn't tell you a whole lot. If it's below full, it's 2/3. It could be this far above 2/3, or it could be this far above 2/3. Same with 1/3. Once it drops below that sensor, it registers the sensor below it. In fact, Outside Dan is going to show you that and how we use it to guesstimate our gray tank. Outside Dan again. I guess they want me to talk about this, so I'll turn the camera around. You can check out our water tank. Anyway, as you can see, their water tank is translucent. You can clearly see the water line. So we have put these little marks in here to give us a visual approximation of where we're at. It helps us know when our gray tank sensors are wonky that there's no way it can read. Like right now, the gray tank's reading full. We haven't yet used 25 gallons of water, so that's impossible. So this is like a visual check, as Inside Dan and Jen were talking about. Before I go back to them, leave a comment down below and tell them to let us sleep inside. It's still cold at night. It's miserable out here. Please help us. So yeah, thanks Outside Dan. That was amazing. So anyway, as you can see, if you can see your freshwater tank, you can gauge where you're at, even if your sensors aren't working very well. Because, as Outside Dan said, if you've used 20 gallons of water, there's no way your gray tank can be full. So, even though it says that you might be freaking out, that will assure you that it's not, and that'll help everything out. That's pretty much how our water, the short showers, the, reusing water, that's already been used for another purpose, balancing out the tanks, things like that are what keep us out here. We can go 14 days.
Yes, we can.
Unless, like, we put too much water in the black tank and then we're like, we better leave because I don't want to have to deal with this in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
That there's black crud this far from the bottom of the little hatch on the toilet there.
Yeah.
So we could do it. We just, we need to get a little more hardcore. But again, we're usually ready to leave after 10 or 12 days anyway.
We are. We are.
So, staying 14 days, that's something a lot of people, that's the holy grail.
Yeah. Because
that's how long you can stay in a spot on BLM land and Forest Service land generally. But you don't have to. You can, and if we're only staying in a spot like 5 days, 6 days, we'll take a shower every other day.
Yeah, we will.
We can go like 4 days taking, Navy showers and stuff, 4 or 5 days. Mm-hmm. So if it's a short stint, we just say screw it and take showers, if we're going to go to an RV park or dump anywhere or whatever. With that, we are going to let you guys go. Thank you for watching. Next week, we are going to talk about what we do out here all day. Because we talked about power and we talked about the water and the holding tanks, and that's pretty much it. We're just going to talk about what we do out here.
Because a lot of people want to know. They keep asking, what do you guys do when you boondock?
Yeah, so with that, Jenna's going to say her thing. Tune in next Saturday for part 4. And then after that, part 5, we have a huge list of questions for the Q&A. So look forward to that.
All right. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for following along our crazy adventures. And we will see you all down the road. Bye-bye.
By the way, I heard outside Dan begging you. It doesn't matter. They're not coming in here.
Dave.
No way.